And now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. This portion of the show is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Rancho Leonero, where your wildest Baja dreams come true. Maui Jim Sunglasses, the choice of the best captains. Shimano Rods and Reels, fish with the best. Shimano. And by Yamaha Outboards, official motor sponsor of Let's Talk Hookup. Here we go. Another great hour of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's Talk Hookup. Here's Pete Gray and rock cod Rick Mexa.
Welcome back, hour number 2. Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Pete Gray here, along with Corey Sandin and Greg Stotesbury from Aftco Manufacturing. Boy, we're getting an education in between here.
I tell you, man.
From Greg is like the fishiest guy I know.
Fishy runs in his blood, man. I'm learning a lot.
Yeah, no
Greg's an
it.
awesome guy.
Yeah, picking his brain, and you can pick his brain too. Just give us a call. 858-457-1090 is open right now, and what a prize we're giving away, right?
Your big bluefin package, quote-unquote big bluefin. Yeah, the Vallarta belt and Max Force harness. I mean, that's a big prize.
The Max 4 XH
Thank you.
Yeah. So describe that outfit again. So the Vallarta belt is the biggest belt you make.
That is the largest belt we make as far as...
Why do you want a large belt when you're fishing?
To spread the load out.
Okay.
So when you're using a lot of drag, you want to spread that load out over as much of your thighs and waist area as you can. And ideally, you fish that belt down on your thighs. But the bigger the belt, the more it spreads the load out and the less load on the angler. And then the harness is kind of the same concept. The harness has got lots of padding. It's much thicker than the original, so it's designed for a lot heavier drag loads. And it's 20% larger, so it spreads the load out better. And it's got a big lumbar pad, so that critical kind of small of the back area doesn't take a beating. It's got a big piece of closed cell foam in there that is actually removable if you want to take it out.
Yeah.
But that combination worn properly, in other words, worn so the upper part of the fighting belt is no higher than your waistline, and the lower part is down below your rear. If you wear that thing properly with that big pad and you have the reel pulled in nice and tight, in other words, the straps pulled in nice and tight, you know, you can sit in 20 to 30 pounds of drag with that thing for hours and do it comfortably. You know, with your knees bent, locked in against the rail and all that, it's not a big deal with that gear on.
And something important you mentioned earlier, I mean, by the time you're 2 hours into it and you're feeling bruised and you're feeling like you needed it, it's 2 hours too late.
Yeah, we harness up immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, as soon as the fish settles, I shouldn't say immediately, we let the fish settle. Once he's done his initial run at the boat, shake his head, make his first long run, once he settles in and you're starting to get a tail beat and everything's under control, get the guy harnessed up, and we put gloves on him too. So with Spectra line or even with Dacron, which we use a lot of, you have that braided line, you can easily put your hand over the top of the reel when you're pulling hard with the harness and not cut your fingers up from the line hitting your fingers.
And what Aftco glove would you recommend for that purpose?
You know, my favorite one is probably the either the utility, which is full fingered, or the short pump, which is the short fingered version of that, or the short pump long range, which has the Kevlar panels. So if you're using heavy Spectra, it won't cut through it. You can guide the line without cutting your fingers.
I love that short pump long range one.
That's a great glove.
Kevlar, yeah.
We probably use that more than anything else, Pete. But if you only have the short pump, they'll work too. But I always stress to my guys, when you're in the harness and you're pulling hard and you're doing it right, you don't really use your arms for anything other than to put one hand on top of the reel to guide the line and the other hand to crank. And the other thing that your left hand does when it's on top of the reel is if you do break line and you're really pulling hard, the outfit doesn't come up and crack you in the forehead.
Yeah.
And that's important because I have seen that happen and guys fall backward and everything else. So I always keep one hand down on the top of the reel, and I put the line between my fingers so I can guide the line.
Wow.
Other hand on the handle. And then the other thing, when you're pulling, even though you don't really pull so much with your arms, when you go to lean back and pull, I always try to have the handle in the position toward the angler so you can pull a little bit with that hand as you're sitting back. But it's all a bent knee, kind of an athletic position type of deal.
Yeah. What's the advantage of being in a belt and harness rather than using the rail or using the rod holder or something like that?
Well, I mean, for me personally, I feel like I actually landed the fish myself.
Yeah.
That the gunnel of the boat didn't land the fish.
Yeah.
And that's, for me, that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
The other thing is mobility. You can move around in the pad and harness.
If the fish moves,
you move with him. And you know, those big bluefin, when they get close, they get all erratic and do that weird head shake and run at the boat and all that. And if you've got an outdrive or an outboard or even running gear below the boat and you can't you can't move around and clear the gear and stay ahead of the fish, you cut the fish off in the wheels. I watch guys out there, and I see them. We got gyros, and I'm watching everybody that's hooked up, and some of the tragedies that I see happen are totally preventable if the guy was just standing up and moving around, moving his feet, and if the driver of the boat was also positioning the boat.
Yeah.
No reason to deadboat that fish. If you can, run around and keep the fish off the corner and lead the fish with a boat, makes all the difference in the world.
Okay, explain that. Lead the fish, because that's really an important thing.
So we have the boat in going forward, idle forward, most of the time when we're fighting the fish.
Most of the time while you're fighting the fish.
We don't allow the bluefin to run around up underneath the boat or get up off the bow or get around behind the boat. We always keep the fish off the quarter behind the boat. And a lot of times we lead the fish in high idle. In other words, we're idling along at 5 knots with a lot of drag. And once we get that fish in the lead, in other words, we're leading him like a dog on a leash, it's over. Because at that point, we're going to inch him closer and closer and closer.
Wear him out faster and faster.
Till I can reach out and put a flying gaff in him.
You're kind of planing them up, basically.
Exactly what we're doing. We're planing them up. Now, obviously, you can't do that with real light line. But when you're pulling with heavy tackle and a lot of drag and pulling properly, we put our guy in the corner and we keep the boat going forward and we lead that big bluefin right to the boat.
Yeah, so much to it.
Yeah. Now, when you mentioned a flying gaff, okay?
Yes.
Is that something that people are targeting big bluefin as essential?
I think it's essential, and I say that only because I've had my hands destroyed twice this year gaffing big bluefin and getting the gaff yanked out of my hand or getting my hands pinned between the gunnel and the fish. Mm-hmm. Just because the fish are they go nuts when you gaff them.
When you stick them in.
Yeah, 200-pound fish is a lot of muscle.
Yeah. And so we started using a flying gaff, solves all the problems.
Hey, I'm over 200 pounds. You stick a gaff in me.
Man, you're going to flop around a little bit. Yeah, and Aftco makes the full line of gaffs. I love your gaffs.
We got the perfect gaff for it.
All those gaffs. I mean, from the aluminum gaffs, the fiberglass gaffs.
Yeah.
So what is the flying gaff? What's the Aftco flying gaff?
So the flying gaff that we're using is our 006 FG, which is it's a handle that's just under 7 feet, so that when you put the flying gaff hook in it, it's IGFA legal, which is under 8 feet long. I like the 5 or 6 inch hook myself. And, it's got you have to rig your own rope on it. So you put a 15 feet of 5/8 inch 3-strand nylon rope on it and attach it to a cleat. And then when you put the gaff in the fish and the handle breaks away, you've just got the hook and the rope. The bluefin can go nuts. He can do whatever he wants to do, but you still got him on a rope.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you get up on that rope and then take and reach over the top with a fixed head gaff and get him somewhere else in the body, and you're good to go.
Yeah. It's good stuff. Well, hey, 858-457-1090. That line's full, but try 877-792-1090. You'll get through right now.
Let's jump into it. And I think Charlie wants to get in on some of this. Charlie from Gardena, good morning to you. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, good morning, guys. First of all, I'd like to thank all the veterans for serving. And, Greg, I had a couple questions for you. What is the length of your bent rods? And, when you're flying a kite, do you ever, when you're flying a balloon rig, do you ever attach it to the kite rod so you can reuse the balloon, or do you go direct to your double trouble rig? Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the call there, Charlie, and the question. And Roger on the veterans. Yeah, congrats to all the veterans, and thank you for everything. So we mostly use a kite with a balloon behind it. We've got an onboard helium tank on the boat. We have a commercial helium tank, and we always put a 36-inch latex balloon behind our kite when we're flying it. So I very seldom ever use a kite by itself. It's always the kite with the balloon, and we reuse it over and over again through the day unless we break it for some reason. And the leader that I'm using is typically less than 15 feet because that's what is required in our club, but you don't need more than 15 feet a leader. 200-pound fluorocarbon is what we're using the most of, and Aftco is going to have a fluorocarbon here very soon. We actually spent a lot of time with our prototypes this summer with our new fluorocarbon that we're coming out with.
Talk about that.
That's big news, yeah.
Wait a minute. You just kind of let go some big news. So Aftco's releasing fluorocarbon leader only?
We are. We're going to make fluorocarbon leader. We're actually bringing it in from a factory that we're dealing with in Japan that's the most high-end factory over there, and it's going to be expensive, but it's the very, very best of the best as far as tensile strength and all that. But we're going to have fluorocarbon in everything from 12-pound to 300-pound. In most of the sizes, we're going to have it in both clear and pink.
Wow.
And so we spent a ton of time this year. Matter of fact, every bluefin we caught this season was on the new Aftco Psycho leader.
Wow. So, is that what it's called? Psycho?
Psycho.
Yeah. All right. So what you say you're going to have smaller sizes too then?
We're going to have everything from 12-pound up to 300-pound.
Wow.
So everything from 100 to 300 will come in 30-yard coils. And everything under 100 pounds, so 80 pound and below, will come in 30-yard wrist spools, 2 different sizes. And we've got a really unique spool system that I got to show you. That's so cool.
Yeah.
It doesn't allow the leader to jump off the spool, and it's really easy to just kind of fix the leader, cut the piece off that you want, and then be able to refine the end without it becoming a big nightmare.
Hey, which can be a challenge.
That's a big deal.
So, I mean, it seems like a little thing, but if you've dealt with fluorocarbon on the boat, it gets to be a nightmare because it gets all tangled up and jumps off the spool.
Or, it jumps back in and you can't find the end, and it's just, you're pulling it out and it's under wrapped. And
I should have brought a sample, but these new spools we've got, and we actually source these through the folks that are building the line for us. But,
nice.
But it's going to be a heck of a product.
Yeah, when are you going to have it?
We're looking to introduce it at the distributor shows coming this winter.
Okay.
The formal introduction and sales of it and all that will happen before the season this next year.
Okay.
Fred Hall, we should have loads of it in there and have some of the dealers all set up with it.
All right. Very good. Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. Appreciate that. Uh-oh. Look who's back in town, Corey.
I like it.
Captain Dave Hansen, your saltwater guide, and this sport sponsored in part by Gamakatsu Hooks, Japan's leading fish hook that sets the standard for quality and innovation, strength and durability. Local tuna, yellowtail fishing, still happening, still out there, and the bluefin too. You should make Gamakatsu Nautilus Circle Hook your go-to hook. It has the strength and the durability as well as the right design that makes it easy to hook your bait as well as push that fish on the deck. Get Gamakatsu Nautilus Circle Hooks at your favorite tackle store. Captain Dave is back.
Good morning, Pete, Rick, Greg. Or no, not Rick, Corey.
Corey's here, yeah.
Greg,
Rick
good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm back in town. And what did I come back to? I came back to some phenomenal fishing. Nothing changed. I was gone for a month and a half, and I came back, and it seems like the bluefin fishing's better than when I left. The coastal fishing's insane. I had to go out fishing this week. I couldn't help it, Pete. I hadn't been out for like a whole day and a half, so
yeah.
I went out on my skiff, and we went up to Dana Point. The water's purple blue up at the point. It's south proper. Big bonita on the anchor. Lots of calico bass. That bonita gets up to about 7-8 pounds on the anchor. If you get offshore a couple miles, that bigger bonita is biting the troll, just great off of Dana Point. I know they had really good bonita fishing there yesterday off of Dana Point. You jump outside there to the Cortez 10 or into that zone out there, that bluefin fishing right now, it seems like they don't care. They're eating every single thing that hits the water. And like Greg was talking about, if you take the time, go to Catalina, catch that flying fish, and then take it out there, you're going to turn that 60, 70-pound fish into that 200-300-pound fish. The problem is that the fish are so hungry right now that they're eating everything. They're eating fly-line mackerel, they're eating fly-line sardines, and so a lot of the guys quit fishing for that flying fish because the fish are eating so well. But if you take the time and go out there with that flying fish, you're going to turn that stuff into that bigger fish. Then look at what's going on down the line. They're still catching yellowfin tuna. What are we in, July, August?
Yeah, November 11th, Veterans Day. How about
it's
that?
Absolutely insane. The fishing's phenomenal. People are still going. That's the really cool thing is if you look on AIS right now, there's about 50 boats out there on the Cortez Bank. In November, normally the fish have been biting this time of year, but we run out of people. That's not the case this year. The weather's phenomenal. The people are coming. And the fishing's excellent all over the place. So, once again, like we talk about every week, there's no reason to not go fishing.
No doubt about it. And fishdope.com, Daddy Jeff and the guys have had all the information you need to get on, whether it's bonito or bluefin or calico bass. They have the info, fishdope.com. $20 off a new membership to fishdope.com using the code Hookup Now. You get information from Captain Dave, Mark Wish, and more right there every day at your fingertips for a very low price for an annual membership. Fishdope.com. And Dave, how do we find you?
Well, you guys, my website, we're added a whole bunch of new videos this week to the website. We're keeping it super fresh. Go to yoursaltwaterguide.com and check out all the new videos we just added. Tons of information on there. We work in conjunction with Jason and Ali over there at Fish Dope, and we're constantly adding stuff and working together with Jason and Ali and making it so that you guys can catch lots of fish when you go fishing.
It's a good website. You're doing a great job, Captain Dave. Yoursaltwaterguide.com. Thanks, Dave. Welcome back. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, I'll be in Cabo. I'm leaving Wednesday, so I'll talk to you guys in Cabo Sunday. It sucks to be.
All right, Dave. Have a good trip. Thanks a lot for the call.
All right. Let's jump into it, Pete. Let's talk to Mark. Mark's calling from Ohio. I bet he's listening on the app.
Good morning,
Pete.
Mark.
Good morning. How you guys doing?
Great.
Good.
I just had a question. What is new for the Fred Hall show this year? Like, what can I expect there?
Well, you just heard Greg's going to be introducing Aftco fluorocarbon.
Yeah, we'll have the new line there at the Fred Hall show. And, the Fred Hall show is always so fun for everybody because you get to see all the new product that everybody's coming out with, whether it's new lures or new line or, of course, lots of new clothing. We're going to have a huge clothing deal there this year.
Are you?
Again, in conjunction with Fisherman's Landing.
Yeah.
But the Fred Hall show is always awesome.
Oh, yeah. What's new in the clothing line for Aftco?
I'd say the two biggest things right now are all the technical outerwear for the men. I'm talking like our we've got our award-winning Hexatron, which is a kind of a hooded sweatshirt that we've designed.
Great. Won the big award at ICAST.
At ICAST, that's correct.
Year, yeah.
And then both the Anhydrous and the Hydronaut high-end rain gear, this is super technical, lots of features. Waterproof, breathable, awesome rain gear. We've got the Anhydrous 2, which is the new version. I think, Pete, you've got Anhydrous, the original.
Love the Anhydrous.
And that stuff, you just stay completely dry in it.
It's unbelievable.
And
it's comfortable.
It's very comfortable. It's lightweight, but completely waterproof. And the main thing is, I think, all the new ladies stuff, tons of ladies gear. Lots of ladies like to fish, lots of them around the water. And then youth. We've got hats and performance shirts and matching outfits for dad and the son or daughter or whatever, but lots of youth clothing and junior size stuff.
Yeah.
So we've really expanded that whole side of it.
What's the difference between the Hydronaut and the
Anhydrous?
The Anhydrous.
Okay, so the Anhydrous is made of a very lightweight, super high-end, very technical, waterproof, breathable fabric. I think it's the very best waterproof, breathable available from anybody in the world. I think the fabric comes out of Japan, actually. I don't know all the technical on it, but it's unbelievable lightweight, as you know. Mm-hmm. The Hydronaut is more of a little heavier weight, totally waterproof, feature-loaded rain suit that you'd wear like in colder weather, where it was not necessarily like you can wear the Anhydrous in tropical and warm weather conditions. Right. The Hydronaut, if you live in the Midwest and you're running across a lake in the middle of the early winter or the early spring, this thing has got insulating properties. It's also completely waterproof. Tons of pockets, and it's actually got a pocket on the front that's got a zipper, and then inside of it, it's got the MOLLE system, which is the military system where you can put the clip inside there, and it'll hold your GoPro or your action camera right on the chest of the jacket in this special zippered pocket with the MOLLE fittings.
Wow.
It's a pretty cool deal.
And it won best in category at ICAST.
It did. We're the first clothing company ever to win in two categories. We're one in performance and then also in outerwear.
Wow, congratulations.
Cool. It was a big show for us. But lots and lots of stuff. You go to the website at aftco.com and the clothing side or the hardware side, but either one, on the clothing side especially, there's just gobs of new stuff that we've just come out with.
And available at all the dealers.
Exactly.
When are we going to see the new Hydronaut and Anhydrous rain gear?
So my sources tell me that stuff's going to deliver in December.
Okay. All right. Very good.
So it's coming.
Yeah. Be ready for it next year. Mark, are you listening to us on the Let's Talk Hookup app?
Actually, I'm on my phone listening to you guys.
Okay. Very good. All right. Well, you should try, especially being there in Ohio. You should definitely download that Let's Talk Hookup app. It's easy on your phone. You just go to the App Store on iPhones, or you go to the Google Play Store on your Android device. Just search Let's Talk Hookup radio show or Let's Talk Hookup, and you'll see our logo on there, the fish with the microphone. You download that app. It's free. It's so easy. When I was in Florida, I was listening to Corey doing such a great job on the show, on the app. Easy streaming live, as well as all our archive shows. You miss a show, it's all right there on the app. Adam, our main guy there on the other side of the glass, does such a great job managing our app there. So the app, I'm going to tell you something. The My 1090 app is nice. Our app is better. I'm sorry. If you listen to Let's Talk Hookup, download the Let's Talk Hookup app.
It's super easy. It's friendly. It's
so
free.
easy.
And while I'm driving, I listen to old shows, and it's a cool deal for sure.
Yeah, easy to use, and it's free. Hey, thanks a lot for calling us from Ohio. Appreciate that.
That's really cool, Mark. Thank you. And let's jump back into it with Ed. Ed's calling from Mira Mesa. Thanks for joining us this morning, Ed.
Good morning, Ed.
Hi, guys. Hey, I've got a question on your clothing. What is the best way to get the blood out? And also, can I use a fabric softener with that?
The best way to get the blood out is as quickly as possible to use water. I mean, obviously water. We've got a DWR stain release on a lot of the clothing that we make, which is a separate coating that's applied to the fabric before it's actually sewn into the garment. So it's all got DWR stain release on it. So for the most part, your stains are going to come right out if you wash them out quickly. Fresh water, any kind of clear soda, 7-Up, club soda, tonic water, any of that kind of stuff, if you got it around, that'll take a stain out really quickly.
Hydrogen peroxide.
Hydrogen peroxide.
Yeah. You have to be careful. It might damage the clothing, too.
You don't want it on there too long.
Yeah.
But generally, the stains will come out pretty quick. Blood's the toughest of all, and so the best thing to do is just to get it out quickly. Even if you just use fresh water and soap or water out of the bait tank or whatever, try to dilute it as quickly as you can.
And from personal experience too, Ed, I've had the nice shirts down at El Salto, and a little blood, from the bass. It's not the way you want to do it, but it happens every once in a while. And exactly like he's saying, I get the lake water on it really quick, and it comes out. And I think the worst thing for me is do not put it in the dryer. Don't put it in the dryer with the stain. It's going to lock it in.
It locks it in.
No, I get scolded all the time by certain people about leaving the blood on and not washing it out. So our guys recommend Nick Wax. Nick Wax, which is a tech wash that's designed for technical garments and stuff like ours.
Okay.
So Nick Wax, and you can get it at Aftco.com.
And that'll help pull the stain.
The stuff is amazing.
Wow. Okay.
So you just mix it in with your regular laundry detergent?
It's both a spray and then a mix in that comes. Yeah, there's like a two-part cleaner, and then there's a spray that comes out of a bottle.
Spell it.
NIKWAX.
Nick Wax.
Nick Wax.
Okay,
Great
and
stuff.
it's available at Aftco.com.
Yes.
All right. Good tip.
Man.
Get some.
Really good tips.
We're learning it all here, Corey, for sure.
And we're having a great time this morning, and it's time to go to break.
Yeah.
Right? Let's do it. Let's go to break. We'll be right back. We're going to have more with Greg, more with Aftco. We're learning so much. We want you to join us. We'll be right back. Let's talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
This is Pete Gray to tell you about one of my favorite places to fish in the world. It's Whalers Cove Lodge in Angoon, Alaska. For several years now, we've been hosting groups at Whalers Cove, and this is certainly one trip I do not miss. Each year, the Powers family makes great improvements to the lodge that make this great lodge even better. New rooms, new boats, new fish processing facilities, new outdoor kitchen. The list goes on and on. As for fishing, the calm waters around Whalers Cove are 100 miles from any large town, so you will enjoy wilderness adventure without the crowds. Whalers Cove Lodge has some of the best salt and freshwater fishing in Alaska, and there's no need for a bumpy boat ride for hours. You can find productive fishing for salmon, halibut, and rockfish just 10 minutes from the lodge. Here's the deal. The word is out on Whalers Cove, so you want to go? Book soon. WhalersCoveLodge.com or call 800-423-3123. WhalersCoveLodge.com for the Alaska fishing experience of a lifetime.
This is Captain Tim Ekstrom from the long-range vessel Royal Star. With my partners Randy Toussaint and Brian Sims, we have set the bar for the long-range fishing experience. A spring 8-day, summer 5-day, or a fly-down, fly-back 11-day winter trip, we deliver the highest quality long-range voyage you will find. From our premium RSW fish storage to our top-of-the-line chefs and crew, Royal Star distinguishes itself from all others. Want to grab a spot on the Royal Star? Check us out at RoyalStarSportFishing.com or call Tracy at 619-224-4764.
When it comes to fishing rods for saltwater, there's just one name you need to know: CalStar. Take, for example, the Graphiter series. It's a true graphite and fiberglass composite rod, the finest it's ever been built. And for anglers seeking traditional performance, durability, and quality at an affordable price, the CalStar West Coast series of rods and blanks are the ones for you. Their master craftsmen bring decades of rod building experience to every rod they make. So if you want your fishing rods to be truly state-of-the-art, I always recommend CalStar at fine tackle stores everywhere.
I got a garage full of fishing tackle, and every time I get out on the water, I realize I forgot something important. But I never forget my life jacket. I make sure my buddies wear theirs, too. Save the ones you love. A message from California State Parks Division of Boating and Waterways.
Many years ago, Baja pioneer Bob Van Wormer found the area he called the Great Fish Trap in the East Cape of southern Baja and built what is now regarded as the premier East Cape resorts of Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Today, following in their father's footsteps, Bob's sons, Bobby, Chucky, and Eddie, have taken Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol to new levels. With the largest sport fishing fleet in Mexico, a luxurious spa, and top-of-the-line resort amenities, Van Wormer Resorts have become a destination for travelers worldwide. But for us, Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol are just a short 2-hour flight away. No other tropical fishing destination offers the experience and value that you'll find at Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Now you can plan your Baja fishing vacation quick and easy by visiting VanWormerResorts.com. And when you're ready to book, it's quick and easy. Or simply call 877-777-TUNA for more information. Van Wormer Resorts, the East Cape's finest.
XEBRS 1090 AM, Rosarito, Baja California.
San Diego's sports leader.
The home of ESPN Radio. The mighty 1090.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. We're having so much fun in studio and learning so darn much.
Yeah, and talking Aftco clothing, Aftco hardware. You know, I wear... What do I have on?
You have what you always have on, which is some kind of Aftco ensemble.
Yeah, every day. This is what I wear every day.
You're looking good, Pete.
Is Aftco T-shirts, Aftco performance wear when I'm fishing, and of course the Stealth short is that's my go-to.
And I have a couple pair of Aftco shorts, and I love them. It's all I wear. I have a couple button-ups, and, you know, they're actually, like you were saying, they're almost like too dressy, you know, I mean, for a lot of events. But as a fisherman going to a nice event, they're as nice as they get and sharp-looking.
Yeah. Well, my wife, Lolly, always makes fun of me. She goes, you're dressed like it's summer. She picked me up at the airport last night at 10:45, and this is what I had on, right?
Perfect.
And she says, you're dressed like summer. I go, well, isn't it?
Yeah.
I came from summer in Marathon, Florida. It's summer here in Southern California. So that's just what we wear.
We haven't had any weather change, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is now we make, you know, it used to be we only had a few things, but now we have the range. I mean, if you want to dress up a little bit or you want to dress down, we got it all from trunks to pants to everything in between.
I know we're talking technical and functional, but you start getting into shorts and nice button-ups. You know?
The button-up, that's what you call the technical gear, right? The button-up shirts?
No, the technical stuff would be the performance fabrics and the performance fleece and the soft shells and all that kind of stuff.
Which are great, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I love those, the jackets that you guys make and the fleece and all that. Unbelievable.
So, I mean, even though it's not wintertime, we're kind of talking a little bit about it getting toward wintertime. We have a new flannel program we've just come out with.
Oh.
So if you guys get a chance, check out the Buffalo Bill or the Vetter.
Okay.
I just got the Buffalo Bill, which is a new flannel, kind of a plaid. Thing is so cool.
Really? Button-up shirt?
It's a button-up shirt.
Yeah.
You know, roll the sleeves up if you want to, but it's a real soft, and it's a performance fabric. It's not a cotton flannel. It's a performance flannel.
Yeah.
But it feels like your favorite old, soft cotton plaid shirt. But check out Buffalo Bill and Vetter.
I like it.
Hey, it was in the 40s this morning.
Yeah.
That was a little chilly coming down.
It's 70s today. Yeah, whatever. Hey, let's find out what's cooking. Yanni from Fisherman's Belly's on the line. Good morning, Yanni.
Good morning, gentlemen. You guys have got me wondering if I should wear my Aftco shirt in the kitchen when I'm making all my fish dishes. I'm wondering if they'll turn out better.
Yeah, I bet they would.
Better you look, the better you cook.
Look at that.
Right? I love that. Oh, my God. Hey, listen, 2 weeks ago, my last recipe was how to smoke tuna, and we smoked tuna belly. Well, this week, it's out on the website now. I've taken that tuna belly, that smoked tuna, and I've turned it into an amazing dip. But that's not the best part of this recipe. This recipe, I've really taken it to heart. What I really want to do is help everyone become better cooks and better fish cooks. And this recipe really explains the ins and outs and the fundamentals of making a good fish dip, a good smoked fish dip, and what it really takes, because not everyone's got all the ingredients that I'm listing. So you need to be able to improvise, and once you watch this video and learn what I'm doing, you can do it on your own, in your own kitchen.
Oh, yeah. No, fishermansbelly.com. You have it up right now. We'll have it on our website at letstalkhookup.com on the Anglers Tables section there. But, Yanni, you are amazing. Your recipes are amazing. Fisherman's Belly. You're doing such a great service to anglers, and we thank you for that.
Thank you, guys. I get to eat a lot of fish meals, so I'm happy.
Indeed. Yeah, us too. All right, thanks. Fisherman'sBelly.com. Yanni, we'll talk to you in a couple weeks.
You bet. Thanks again.
All right, appreciate that. All right, phones are packed. They want to talk to Greg. Let's jump into it, Corey.
Let's do it, Pete. Let's talk to Paul. Paul's calling from Bellflower. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup this morning, Paul.
Hello, guys.
Good morning, Paul.
I hope everybody's doing great this Veterans Day.
Indeed.
So I got a fish report. I just got back on a day and a half on the Fury out of Dana Point, and we got limits of bluefin for 25. The water was flat, calm. The weather was hot, and we had like 1 to 2 inch swells.
Wow.
Nice.
What a day, huh?
Awesome. It was beautiful out there, and the fish were all around jumping, and average was about 35 pounds, and we had some that were about up to about 50.
Nice.
Down
what a great grade. What a great trip. And was Rick Dosberg running the boat?
Absolutely.
Oh, what a guy. Rick is such an awesome guy. Been around a long time and is a great fisherman, so I'm sure he put you on the fish.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
All right.
It was awesome.
Fantastic. Well, appreciate the report, Paul. Thanks for hanging in there and giving us that report from the Fury out of Dana Wharf Sport Fishing.
That was definitely a cool report.
Yeah.
Let's jump back into it. Lou. Lou's calling from Fullerton. Welcome to the show this morning, Lou.
Lou.
Hey, good morning, guys. Hey, just want to wish all the veterans out there, enjoy your day. You're well-deserved. For those that serve, those that are serving. And, Greg, thank you for posting that discount for Aftco products. You do that year after year, and that's greatly appreciated. So thank you. And
You're
you
welcome.
Enjoy your day.
All right. What's that? You guys have a discount code for veterans?
Yeah, we run a special deal for veterans. That's a 20% off code.
Really?
And we're able to run their ID number through a service that makes sure it's legitimate.
Yeah.
But for Veterans Day, we do a 20% off deal on the website, which is
today only.
Significant. It is today only.
Yeah,
it's today only.
So go to Aftco.com if you're a veteran.
Yes.
And you put in your number, and you get 20% off anything?
20% off of anything other than on-sale items.
Okay.
Which is a very small percentage. So, all you veterans out there, I mean, it's the least we can do to thank them for all that all of them have done for us. And it's a 20% deal, and it's on the website today.
Fantastic.
That's really cool.
That's really great.
Thanks for bringing it up, Lou.
Yeah, indeed, Lou. Appreciate that. That does free up 877-792-1090. It's been a busy morning this morning. There's your chance to get through to Greg, talk bluefin, talk bass, talk rainbow trout, whatever you want to talk about. Greg's got it in his bag. I can guarantee you that.
I guarantee he does. And Doug from Montebello wants to know exactly what something from Greg. Good morning, Doug.
Yeah, I was wondering about landing those big bluefin on a small boat. Could you guys get away with it like on they do on that Wicked Tuna show? We use a tail wrap to whatever.
Well, on Wicked Tuna, they hosted those fish, and no, we don't carry a harpoon. We use either a flying gaff or a fixed head gaffs.
You're not allowed to harpoon.
We're not allowed to harpoon them and carry.
That'd be cool, though, wouldn't it?
Well, it'd be awesome.
Yeah,
I'd love to be able to do it.
Why wouldn't they? Right?
What a difference it would make, because so many fish, we have them close, and then for one reason or another they go away. But no, we're in a relatively not a real small boat, but we're only 33 feet. But that's not a handicap. I mean, the size of the boat is really so much more dependent on what kind of weather you have. If you have the weather, I mean, you could go out there in a flat skiff and catch those fish. So it's not really so much about the size of the boat as it is your ability to deal with the weather and float out there at night and all those kinds of things.
Yeah.
But it's fun regardless.
No doubt about it. Hey, thanks a lot for the call this morning. The difference, when being in Florida for a week down there and seeing some of the regulations, I wish they would adopt some of the regulations that they have here. Like, for example, being able to throw your own cast net.
Yeah.
How cool would that be?
No, I think the cast net thing would be great. I mean, for all kinds of ways to catch bait. But I think the other side of that is people would abuse it, and they'd be cast netting corvina and other types of fish that we don't want people throwing a cast net on.
No, that's a good point.
And here's the interesting...
That's a good point.
With this you're mentioning exactly is it is legal north of Point Conception.
Yeah.
For a cast net.
Oh, it is?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, you can do it up north.
Yeah, north of Conception.
Yeah. Is there anything to catch, though?
They use it for surf smelt. I've done it. It's actually kind of neat.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
For surf smelt.
For surf smelt. It's like a grunion or a little bit bigger, and they come up literally into 6 inches of water.
Yeah.
And you throw the throw net on.
Do they use a harpoon in Florida?
They do.
They do.
A
so
bunch
that's
of my
legal
friends,
on that side.
A bunch of my friends that fish swordfish back there, almost all of them use a harpoon to finish the deal.
Yeah.
And it's very effective. I mean,
why not?
Yeah.
How is that going to change things?
Well, I think the only thought about it is, I mean, as far as from a law standpoint, I don't think they want people running around with harpoons and throwing them at marlin and whatever else they find out there, because then you kind of cross over from being a sport guy to being a commercial guy.
Yeah.
I think that's where you kind of draw the line.
Intent.
And back east, there's a lot of things they can do. They can sell their fish. They can do all kinds of stuff we don't do here.
Yeah.
Oh, really? On a sport license deal, they can do
sell
that.
sport caught fish back there.
Okay.
I'll be darned.
Interesting.
In many places.
From a diver's standpoint, one of the things I really like was fishing lobster back there because you can use those little snares. It's like a stick with a movable loop on it that you can snare the lobster with.
Yeah.
Very effective.
Oh, yeah. I can imagine.
There's a technique to it.
Yeah.
But you kind of tease them out of the rock and then snare their tails. Yeah.
No, I know all kinds of tickle sticks would work great here.
Yeah.
But not that I've ever tried it. But I'm sure it would work good here.
It would, for sure. Anyway, we have our laws, and there's reasons for them.
But you say that, and one of the coolest things that Fish and Wildlife have actually changed, and Greg could probably raise a fist and yes, amen, is the calico bass, the bass fishery where they took it from a 12-inch to a 14-inch.
Absolutely.
And only 5 fish in the bag. And really, I mean, we kind of bag on them sometimes, but
that was a good move.
That came out of the blue, really.
Yeah, I think it was well conceived, and I think particularly the 5 fish part of it. I think that a lot of the guys that fish on party boats would argue that the 12-inch thing is difficult for them because guys want to put a few fish in the bag. But I'm with you. I mean, I don't need to kill that many fish.
Right.
And I think a 5-fish limit is plenty adequate.
And that's one of the neatest things that's happened in my life, really.
I agree.
That I can think about.
Totally agree.
Has it changed the calico fishery?
100%. Oh, yeah. There's times where you could go out and catch, 11, 12 inchers, but hey, how about go out now and catch 13, 14 inchers?
Yeah.
And, on the minimal end is what I'm saying.
Right.
To go out and catch 50, 60 fish is no big deal.
No big deal.
Yes, it's awesome.
And like Greg said, the biggest part of that is the 10 fish down to 5 fish.
Down to 5 fish. I think that makes
plenty of fish. Like when they did the bluefin thing. Everybody was, oh my God, we're going to go from 5 to 2.
Which sounds horrible, right?
Yeah.
2's plenty.
You don't need more than 2. I mean, not in my book.
No,
I mean, maybe if you're on a party boat and you're catching 30-pounders,
yeah,
you'd want more than 2. But the truth is, we all end up with so much fish that a lot of it gets given away or freezer burned. So
so there's things we can give them a pat on the back for.
Yes.
And one thing we have here in California that they don't have in the East Coast is the Everingham Brothers Bait Company.
That's true.
And all the bait companies up and down the coast.
Totally unique.
So we don't really need the cast net thing, right? Because we have them.
Yeah, it's amazing the service we have here and the ability to roll up to the receiver and buy bait. Because I go back east all the time and fish with Goggle Eye in South Florida, and you go to buy them, and they're $10 a bait.
$10 a bait?
Because a guy had to go out and hand catch them.
That's crazy.
Hand catch them. Yeah. Well, we can't catch mackerel.
Yeah, we catch our own mackerel all the time.
That's crazy.
Hey, let's go ahead and jump back in the phone.
Let's do it. Let's talk to Dan. Dan's calling from Encinitas. Thank you for joining us this morning, Dan.
Hey, morning, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I just want to give a quick compliment to the CCA and what they put together yesterday. It was an awesome show.
Yeah, I'm sorry I missed it. It sounded like a great event, and hats off to all the guys in the San Diego chapter for doing such a fantastic job.
And my question is, when you start crimping your hooks or jigs on fluorocarbon? Thanks.
Over 100-pound test. So anytime I'm using over 100-pound test, especially in fluorocarbon, which is stiffer and harder and sometimes harder to get the knot to turn over.
Mm-hmm.
But we had a lot of practice with that this year, and, of course, the majority of the leader I was using was 200-pound test this year, and we were crimping it with a swage crimper and an aluminum crimp, of course.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I always do when I crimp is before I tighten the crimp down, I always take a Bic lighter and burn a little ball on the end of the fluorocarbon.
Good idea.
So it can't pull back through the crimp even if I don't crimp it perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
But anything 100-pound test and under, I tie a 4-turn uni, and I wet the knot carefully, and then I put the hook in one of the lugs on the reel so I can really pull up tight on it using gloves most of the time wrap the leader around my hand and really cinch the knot down. And if you look close at like an uni knot, which I tie a lot, or even a San Diego jam, you'll know when the knot is tightened correctly and the tags have been pulled properly because the knot will turn over. You'll see the knot actually, the coils of the knot gather up just like your fist. So the coils all lay in a row. And when the knot turns over like that and the tag comes out the side and it's truly tightened up, you know you did everything right. Yeah. So that's on 100 pound and less, that's my deal. 4-turn uni, turn it over properly. Everything over 100 pound, use an aluminum crimp and a proper swaging tool.
Always good to test your knot too, right?
We do it on every single
hard.
knot. We have very few tackle failures because of that.
Yeah. Do you test your crimps too?
Always.
Yeah.
I pull up. I put a pair of Aftco utility gloves on, take a double wrap, hook the hook in the lug of the reel, and I reef on that thing. I lay back on it.
So let me ask you this. You mentioned an aluminum crimp.
Yes.
Is that the single barrel aluminum crimp? Is that what you use?
The single swage type crimp.
Swage type. You don't use the double barrel.
You can use the double barrel crimp too.
Yeah.
I sometimes use those. Those are usually brass. They're not aluminum.
Uh-huh.
The aluminum ones I use are the single oval sleeves.
Mm-hmm.
And right on the back of the packaging, it'll tell you what size or diameter of leader they're designed for. But just use the right crimp on the right size of leader and have the right tool. I've got an old high seas swaging tool that's got the 3 little different swaging dies in it, so you know exactly what size to use.
Yeah.
And it's stamped right on there. And, from experience, I don't have to look at the numbers anymore.
Right.
But if you don't have experience, just match the numbers, match the crimp to the size of the leader, and use the proper tool, and you can't go wrong.
When you're crimping, do you use a, I don't know what you call them, the little plastic or plastic sleeves that go...
I seldom use loop protectors unless it's a trolling lure.
Okay.
On all trolling lures, I use loop protectors because the lure is swimming through the water. There's a lot more vibration and a lot more wear.
Okay.
But on a bait leader for tuna, I never use a loop protector.
No, it's just more stuff.
Flat fall, I use a loop protector.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, but
I am moving around.
Yes, it's moving around all the time. So you have the chance for wear at that loop connection between the lure and your leader material, even if it's hard fluorocarbon.
Do you like the plastic loop protector or the metal poop?
I use the little green spring protectors. I think they're plastic coated spring steel or something like that. A lot of times, if I'm really going for stealth, like on my swordfish leaders, I use clear plastic tubing.
Okay.
Because it's more invisible. I don't know if it makes a difference, but in my head it does.
It makes you feel better.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, indeed.
Like so many things fishing.
Right, exactly. Man, so much good information.
Yeah, for sure. Dan, thanks a lot for the call this morning.
I'm loving it. Let's jump back into it. Let's talk to Rich. Rich is calling from Bradley. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. This question's for Greg, and I'm wondering, what are some of the lessons that you've learned as a private boater that you think that we should apply as party boaters that we haven't been doing?
Great question.
Yeah, that is a great question.
That's what Adam Underglass said, that it was a great question.
So my big deal is, as a private boat owner, and of course I've done many days on party boats as well, but my big deal as a private boater is just to have the confidence to find your own and to not nag and necessarily key in on the party boats and where they're fishing. And we find an awful lot of fish away from the party boats and kind of have a tendency to be more independent and find our own. Yeah, I don't have sonar like they do, and I don't have as many eyes looking around, and I don't have the day-to-day experience that they do. So I might use their general information to help me with the general area where I want to be or the piece of water I want to be in. But we never, ever nag a party boat. We never stay close to them. We never fish near them. We always kind of find our own and learn how to figure it out without having to chase the party boats.
And truly, Greg, as a private boater, you can't outgun them with bait. Their guns are the chum.
Yeah.
And you're never going to outdo them.
No, we have no chance of that, and nor do I want to compete with them.
Right.
But more than that, I'm just very careful and respectful of other people on other boats, and especially guys that are out there every day trying to make a living.
You don't need to do it.
It makes me sick to see people just chase the party boats.
Yeah.
It's just like, really? You figure it out on your own.
Yeah. And the truth is, like you say, you'll have more success if you figure it out on your own.
Yes.
There's no question in my mind.
And
you think about the best bites you've had, they're by yourself, right?
We're always off on our own. And with all the information that's available now through Fish Dope or guys like Dave Hansen or the other people that put info out on the web, you shouldn't be out of position. You shouldn't be way out of position. I mean, if those fish are off the backside of Clemente, there's plenty of info on Fish Dope and on the internet, and by looking at Terrafin or whatever your choice of water temperature or water clarity services is, you should get to the point where you can figure that all out on your own without having to chase the Vagabond or the Apollo or whatever your boat is that you see out there. Leave those guys alone and figure it out on your own.
Yeah. Good advice.
That's definitely good stuff.
No doubt about it. Hey, thanks a lot for the call this morning. Before we run out of time, I have to mention that there's still spots left on the Royal Star Mazatlan trips. Those are going to be in January. What a perfect time to head down there. This is the kind of the Puerto Vallarta alternative on the long-range boat. 4-day trips, fly down, fly back into Mazatlan. Beautiful place. You ever been to Mazatlan?
I have. Yeah.
Mazatlan's
been down there a bunch of times.
Place. I love, and you love Mazatlan. I know you.
I've been there twice this year.
Yeah. It's just like old Mexico, half the price of a lot of the other resort-style communities down in that central Mexico area.
To put it simple, Pete, it's where the Mexicans go to vacation.
Exactly.
So the pricing isn't on the American level yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
All the good stuff down there, because there's plenty of Americans still down there that are in the know. But anyway, go spend a couple extra days down in Mazatlan, fly down, fly back, in and out if you want, down on those Mazatlan trips. On the 25th of January and the 29th of January, 4-day trips on the Royal Star. Check RoyalStarSportFishing.com for more information. Also, very, very few spots, I might add, left on our Katmai Lodge 2019 trip in July of 2019 to this wonderful destination, Katmai Lodge. I know there were spots were going fast, so if you want to go with us on any of our Alaska trips, Kingfisher Charters in June, Katmai Lodge in July, and then Whalers Cove Lodge in August of 2019. Spots are filling quickly. Go to the trips page of letstalkhookup.com, sign up, but I promise you, don't wait.
And Pete, if I could add something to the Mazatlan thing, I just bought a round trip ticket just to let you know how inexpensive. And I know it's not Alaska and it's not flying that style, but going out of TJ using CBX, $220 round trip. Round trip to Mazatlan. So if you're thinking about the Royal Star trip and you're thinking an expensive airline ticket, think twice.
No way, for sure.
Yes, sir.
The CBX so easy, for sure, indeed.
All right. With that being said, we're going to be right back. We're going to find out who's won this big bluefin package, the Vallarta belt, and all this cool stuff. More from Greg. We're going to be right back. Let's talk hookup, Mighty 1090.
This is Greg Stotesbury from Aftco. For more than 58 years, the American Fishing Tackle Company has been recognized as the premier manufacturer of precision-built offshore fishing tackle. Aftco continues this tradition today with an innovative technical fishing clothing line designed and built by fishermen for fishermen. From our next-generation waterproof shorts like Tactical or Stealth to our new anhydrous waterproof jacket and bibs, the entire Aftco clothing line is purpose-built with the latest Aftec fabrics and features designed to deliver for the demanding angler. To find Aftco products, go to Aftco.com and find a dealer near you.
This is Captain Art Taylor of The Searcher. Celia and I and everyone at Team Searcher would like to thank all of our customers for a successful 2018 season. Are you searching for an affordable fishing adventure from 1.5 to 7 days in length? The Searcher has an outstanding crew, great food, air-conditioned cabins and galley, and an RSW system to preserve your catch. Our 2019 schedule is available now. Book your fishing adventure online at SearcherSportFishing.com or call our office at 619-226-2403. That's 619-226-2403.
Don't be the last to get one, especially now. The all-new Brutus Max Torque from Ace Line Hauler. You can catch more lobster and pull deeper with the Ace Line Hauler. It's faster and stronger, so you can get those bugs in the boat. Easy to store and low power draw. The Ace Line Hauler is the highest quality and certainly the best on the market. Just ask a friend who has one. Get the new Brutus Max Torque by Ace Line Hauler today. Buy now at acelinehauler.com or your local tackle shop.
This is Chelsea from Dana Landing in Mission Bay. We are truly the one-stop shop for a great day on the water. Looking for a fishing charter? Dana Landing has you covered with the Blackjack. Perfect up to 4 anglers, or the Impulse up to 6 anglers in comfort and style. Dana Landing has a huge tackle shop with everything you need to go fish bay bass, tuna, or marlin, and our staff will dial you in. We even have Mexican and California fishing licenses and reel repair. Our deli at Dana Landing is a local's favorite with all the food, ice, and beverages you need. Hey, need freshwater tackle? Head to East County Bait and Tackle, the ultimate in rods and reels, the latest freshwater lures and live bait. ECBT has a staff second to none when it comes to sharing their passion for fishing. ECBT is at the end of the 67 freeway on Mapleview and Lakeside. And Dana Landing is next to the Dana Launch Ramp in Mission Bay. Check out DanaLanding.com for more details.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup, and man, we've had such a fun couple hours, Pete.
It just goes so fast. Greg was just, we forgot to talk about this, we forgot to talk about that. There's so many things. So, bottom line, you got to come back.
Thank you. I always appreciate being on, and thank you very much for the hospitality.
Yeah, who won that big belt and harness, man? The ultimate bluefin package
is Paul Bildflower. Yeah, congratulations. You're going to be stoked.
Belt and that Max Force XH.
Yes.
That's important, the XH.
The XH, he wants the bigger one.
That's the one you want, for sure. Indeed.
That's a great bluefin rig.
Yeah, you're going to be getting them. And of course, Aftco builds the stuff because it's tested by you and Bill and Dave and all the guys that work at Aftco.
We spend as much time out there product testing as we possibly can, some of us more than others.
That's your job, right?
I like your style.
That's a tough job.
Indeed. A lot coming up, including the new fluorocarbon from Aftco, as well as all the great clothing that you guys have, and that flying gaff. If I'm looking into those flying gaffs, that's an important thing to got. If you're targeting that big bluefin, better have one.
Private boater for big bluefin, I would definitely say you've got to have one.
Yeah, for sure. You don't have like 8 strong deckhands to yank those things, right?
No, and some of that fish is so big, even with 2 8-foot gaffs in it, you can take a beating. So the flying gaff makes that work better.
Lots of stuff to talk about: the harnesses, the belts, the gloves.
Yes,
another thing.
Yeah,
where do we find all that?
You can go to Aftco.com and you can find a dealer from there. We have dealers, all over the place, and all the better tackle dealers carry the product, whether it's Fisherman's or Melton or Longfin or Luke and Angler's Choice. I mean, there's just so many different dealers, and I can't mention them all. But if you go to the website, it's all on there. And if there's something you cannot find at a dealer because the clothing line has gotten so big, if there's some individual item, we'd love to have you buy it from a dealer. If you can't find it, then you can go to Aftco.com and usually find it on there.
All right. Thanks, Greg, for taking the time. Thanks, Vivian, for bringing them down here. Appreciate
Thanks,
that.
Pete.
And
Thank you, Corey.
You do at
a lot of fun.
Aftco, for sure, and all that Aftco does for the industry, too. Thank you, Bill, and all that, too. Hey, thank you, Corey, for covering for me and Rick. Appreciate it, and we'll have you back real soon.
Lots of fun.
Looking forward to it. You're such a great co-host, and we
you.
really appreciate your time, as well as appreciate Adam on the other side of the glass for all he does for Let's Talk Hookup. We'll be back next Saturday and Sunday. Sean and the guys from Guardian Charters and Nitro Guns are going to be talking extreme spearfishing next week. It's kind of a little different side note here.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Hookup, but the guys that are in the water that you're kind of going, what are those guys doing? We're going to find out right here on Let's Talk Hookup next Saturday. Then next Sunday, Carl Schmidt and the guys from Fisherman's Landing going to be here in the studio. Thanks for listening today. We'll see you next week right back here on the Mighty 1090.